Hi friends, good morning. Welcome to CivTech Simplified. We are presenting part 1 of our new lecture series. The topic for this series is structural analysis. And in this series, we will be bringing you about 5 to 6 parts. So this is the part 1, and in this part, we will be presenting 25 MCQs questions for your next exam. This topic is very much important for the civil engineers who are preparing themselves for the competitive exams, any sort of university tests or job interviews. And remember, we have always highlighted the correct answers so that you could review them effectively at later stages. So let's get started with today's lecture. The subtopic under structural analysis in this lecture is fundamentals of statically determinate structures. Question number 1. If two forces acting at a joint are not along the straight line, then for the equilibrium of the joint, option A, one of the forces must be zero. Each force must be zero. Option C, forces must be equal and of the same sign. Option D, forces must be equal in magnitude but opposite in direction or sign. If two forces acting at a joint are not along the straight line, then for equilibrium of the joint, each force must be zero. Option B is the correct answer for this question. Question number 2. If the shear force along a section of a beam is zero, the bending moment at that section is option A, 0, option B, maximum, option C, minimum, option D, average of the maximum and minimum. If shear force along a section of a beam is 0, the bending moment at the section is maximum. So option B is the correct answer for this question. Question 3. A simply supported beam of span L carries a concentrated load W at its mid-span. Remember, the length of the beam is L and load is concentrated point load at the mid-section, which is W. The maximum bending moment M is, what is the formula of maximum bending moment? Option A, WL by 2, option B, WL by 4, option C, WL by 8, option D, WL by 12. So option B is the correct answer. WL by 4 is the maximum bending moment formula. Question 4. The shape of the bending moment diagram over the length of a beam carrying a uniformly distributed load is always. What is the shape of the bending moment diagram of a uniformly distributed load? Option A, linear, option B, parabolic, option C, cubical, option D, circular. Now we know that linear is for point loads and parabolic is for uniformly distributed load. So B is the correct answer, parabolic. Question 5. For a simply supported beam with a central load, the bending moment is option A, least at the center, least at the supports, maximum at the supports, option D, maximum at the center. For a simply supported beam with a central load, the bending moment is D, maximum at the center. Option D is the correct answer for this question. Question 6. In a beam, the neutral plane, option A. In a beam, the neutral plane may be its center. Option B, passes through the CG of center of gravity of the area of cross section. Option C, does not change during deformation. Option D, none of the above. In a beam, the neutral plane does not change during deformation. C is the correct answer. Question 7. The number of points of a contour flexure in a simply supported beam carrying uniformly distributed load is option A, 1, option B, 2, option C, 3, option D, 0. The number of points of contraflexure in a simply supported beam carrying uniformly distributed load are 0. Option D is correct answer. Question 8. The moment diagram for a cantilever carrying a concentrated load at its free end will be. The moment diagram or the bending moment diagram for a cantilever beam carrying a concentrated load at its free end will be option A triangle, option B rectangle, option C parabola, option D cubic parabola. So A is the correct answer, triangle. The bending moment diagram for a cantilever carrying a concentrated load at its free end will be triangular. A is the correct answer. Question 9. The bending moment is maximum on a section where shearing force is option A, its maximum is minimum, option C is equal, option D changes sign. So D is the correct answer. When shearing force changes sign, the bending moment is maximum at that section. Question 10. Pick up the correct statement from the following. Option A. The rate of change of bending moment is equal to rate of shear force. Option B. The rate of change of shear force is equal to rate of loading. Option C. Neither A and B. Option D. Both A and B. So the correct options are A and B. The rate of change of bending moment is equal to rate of shear force, and the rate of change of shear force is equal to rate of loading. So A and B both are correct. Option D, which is both A and B, are is the correct option for this question. Question 11. Reactions at the supports of a structure can be determined by equating the algebraic sum of option A horizontal forces to 0, option B vertical forces to 0, option C moment about any point to 0, option D all of the above. So reactions at supports of a structure can be determined by equating the algebraic sum of all of these. A, B and C are the correct options. So D is all of the above, which is the correct option for this question. Question 12. The forces in the members of simple trusses may be analyzed by. What are the methods to analyze the trusses? Option A, graphical method. Option B, method of joints. Option C, method of sections. So all these methods are used for analysis of the trusses. So D is the correct option, which is all of the above. Question 13. At either end of a plane frame, maximum number of possible bending moments are. In a plane frame, there is no bending moment. So A is 1, B is 2, C is 3, so D is 0. So D is the correct option for this question. At either end of a plane frame, maximum number of possible bending moments are 0. Question 14. The necessary condition of equilibrium of a body is when the body is in equilibrium. Option A. Algebraic sum of horizontal components of all the forces must be 0. Option B. Algebraic sum of vertical components of all the forces must be 0. Option C. Algebraic sum of moment of the forces about a point must be 0. So all A, B and C are the correct options. So D here is the answer. All these are the correct options. Question 15. A point subjected to a number of forces will be in equilibrium if. Option A. Sum of resolved part in any two directions at right angle are both 0. Sum of resolved parts in any two directions at right angles are both 0. Option B. Algebraic sum of forces is 0. Option C. Two resolved parts in any two directions at right angle are equal. Algebraic sum of moments of forces about the point is 0. So A is the correct option here. Sum of resolved parts in any two directions at right angles are 0. So that body will be subject to equilibrium. Question 16. In a loaded beam, the point of contraflexure occurs at a section where the point of contraflexure occurs. Option A, bending moment is minimum. Option B, bending moment is zero or changes sign. Option C, bending moment is maximum. Shearing force is maximum. So B is the correct option. The point of contraflexure in a loaded beam occurs when bending moment is zero or it changes the sign. So B is the correct option for this question. Question 17. A beam of length L is pinned at both ends and is subjected to a concentrated bending couple of moment M at its center. The maximum bending moment in the beam is option A M, option B M by 2, option C M by 3, option D ML by 2. So option A is the correct option. M is the bending moment. A beam of length L is pinned at both ends and is subjected to concentrated bending couple of moment M at its center. The maximum bending moment is also M in that case. A is the correct answer for this question. Question 18. When the loads are applied proportionally, proportionality proportionately to a frame structure containing its members in one plane, the structure is called. When loads are applied proportionately to a frame structure containing its members in one plane, the structure is called option A, grid frame, option B, plane frame, option C, space frame, option D, truss frame. So answer for this question is space frame. C is the correct option for this question. Question 19. The reaction at the supports will be vertical to the plane of support if the frame structure rests on. The reaction at the supports will be vertical to the plane of the support if the frame structure rests on option A, roller supports, option B, fixed supports, option C, hinged supports, option D, all of the above. So all these options are correct. The reaction at the support will be vertical to the plane of the support if the frame is resting on the roller supports, fixed supports, or hinged supports. So all these options are correct. Therefore, D is the correct option for this question. Question 20. Stress in members of statically determined simple frame can be determined by. How we determine the stress in the members which are statically determined. Option A, method of joints. Option B, method of sections. Option C, graphical resolution or graphical method. Option D, all of the above. So D is the correct option. All these methods are used to calculate the stresses. Question 21. When equal and opposite forces applied to a body tend to elongate it, the stress so produced is called option A, shear stress, option B, compressive stress, option D, tensile stress, option D, transverse stress. When equal and opposite forces applied to a body which tend to elongate it, the stress so produced is called tension stress or tensile stresses. C is the correct option for this question. Question 22. For structural analysis, Maxwell's reciprocal theorem can be applied to. When the Maxwell's reciprocal theorem is applied during structural analysis, option A, plastic structures, option B, elastic structures, option C, symmetrical structures, option D, all of the above. So we know Maxwell reciprocal theorem is used for elastic structures. Therefore, B is the correct option for this question. Question 23. A diagram which shows the variations of axial load for all sections of span of the beam is called. What is the diagram called which shows the variations of the axial load at all sections of the plane beam? Option A, bending moment diagram. Option B, shear force diagram. Option C, thrust diagram. Option D, stress diagram. So C is the correct option. The diagram which shows the variations of the axial load for all sections of the span of a beam is called thrust diagram. C here is the correct option for this question. Then we have question 24. Beams of uniform strength are preferred to those of uniform section because these are economical for option A large spans, option B heavy weights, option C light weights, option D short spans. So the beams of uniform strength are preferred instead of those of uniform section because of large spans, because these are economical in large span. Option A is the correct option for these questions. Question 25. For a stable frame structure, number of members required is. What should be the number of members required for a stable frame structure building? Option A, 3 times the number of joints minus 3. Option B, twice the number of joints minus 3. Option C, twice the number of joints minus 2. Option D, twice the number of joints minus 1. For a stable frame structure, the number of members required is option B, twice the number of joints. We have to multiply the number of joints with 2 and then deduct 3, minus 3. Twice the number of joints minus 3. So B here is the correct option. So thank you for watching this video part. You have completed structural analysis part 1 in this topic. This was the part 1. So we will be presenting remaining 4 to 5 parts under this topic. So hopefully these would help civil engineers and professional engineers, junior engineers who are preparing themselves for public service commission exams or any sort of the job interviews or the written tests or exams. Please subscribe to our channel CivTech Simplified at YouTube and follow us on Facebook, Instagram as well as TikTok. So thank you very much. See you in the next video. Bye.